conversation and not have to be so distant, if you don't mind moving down here. The front rows, as always, are empty. But first 3 or 4 rows, just to make it a little more cozier, so if somebody wants to say something, the others can hear it. And Sherry Landers always has something she wants to say. Thank you. And Jeff, let me give that to you while I'm thinking of it. Just in a minute, I'll announce that. I'm going to pass those out in a minute. Well, yeah, just... Okay. Tell you what we do, just for fun, so those on live stream can see what they're missing. Start over here with Jeff. Say your first name. Stand up, face the crowd, and say your first name. Mike, start over here with Melissa. Terry coming down the aisle, Steve back there, Nolan up there, and up top is Tom, and I'm Dave. Hearing my father say Sweet Hamp as his name reminded me, how many of you watched the live stream Sunday night with me and my brother? How many were here watching that? Well, it's posted, so you can go and you can watch it tonight. It's worth watching, 15 minutes long. But he sent me a text today and tried to disguise it as a viewer. And the text said how much he wanted to thank me for inviting that handsome and brilliant man to discuss the Bible with me, and how they learned so much from this amazingly handsome and brilliant man sitting next to me on the screen. But I figured it out, it was from him. But it's worth a watch, so give a chance. And that's the Buckleys back here in the back, Jim and Laura. We've been introducing ourselves. We need 5 volunteers to take the missionary letters home. Jeff Bova has them. If you will take a letter home with you and read it tonight and pray over it. And some of these are private, so because you don't want to publish the information. If you'll take a letter home with you, raise your hand, and Jeff will give you that letter. Need 3 more? 3 more people? Two more? 2 more people. Oh, 1 more. Thank you, Ellie. And that's Ed back here, and here's Bobby over here. Is David coming too? Okay, that's Bob. We've been introducing each other. So you missed that. If you're watching live stream, you missed all the excitement of the introductions. So we want to be sure and pray for this Sunday service. Rob Shank will be our guest, and it'll be a very edifying and insightful and thought-provoking presentation, as it always is with Rob. He'll need to sort of scurry out. They have to be in Miami in the afternoon for another interview. His biographer is coming with him, and they're doing a biography of Rob and Paul. And they're coming to interview me because I knew Rob and Paul back in the day in Buffalo. And so we're going to have that interview right after the service. But Rob will shake hands and greet people in the lobby for a few minutes. But if you've never heard him preach, it's worth the effort to be here. And if you have heard him preach before, I'm sure you'll be challenged by what he has to say. And we have a number of people who are recovering from surgeries and illnesses. Their names are in the prayer list. And I haven't seen it, so I don't know if my wife is on there, but if you pray for her, she's been battling bad cold flu bug. She had it on Sunday. was able to sing, and then she sort of has crashed out ever since, and she's taken antibiotics and hopes to be stronger soon. So if you'd pray for her, she would really appreciate that. And Richard Brand is recovering. Virginia Johansson is recovering. And who else had a surgery this week? So there was somebody else. Oh, yeah, and Linda Smith. Thank you. Linda Smith had to go to the emergency room Sunday night with an infection, and her fever got to 104, and she was delirious. She doesn't even recall the ambulance ride or anything. But she's home now, and she's going to be getting intravenous antibiotics for a few days. So pray for Linda if you would, too. Why don't we all stand together? We'll have a word of prayer. Then we're going to look at Genesis chapter 6, and we'll begin tonight's study. Our Heavenly Father, as we gather together for prayer tonight, we thank you that we can pause in our day to calm our hearts and slow down our thoughts and instead turn them to you rather than all the cares of this day and all the plans for the evening or for tomorrow. And instead just rest in this moment that you are here with us, that you care and that you hear and that you can intervene. Father, we pray that you'll bless each person who is here tonight and all those who are watching on live stream, that we will be encouraged and edified by the study and even find ways to apply it to our own lives today. We pray for Linda and Virginia and Richard, who are recovering from episodes in the hospital this week, that their bodies will get stronger, and for Ruth Bailey, who's still recovering from her knee surgery. For those, I can't think of the names right now, Father, but those in our church who are struggling with long-term situations, like Nancy Walton and Josh Cole and Jim Plummer, whose situations aren't changing dramatically, and they drag on and drain them of energy, and I pray that you will bless them. And then, Father, for this Sunday service, as we lift those up to you today, asking you to prepare our hearts for a great time of fellowship together, a wonderful time of worship, and then a time of ministry from your word. That this Sunday's gathering will be beneficial. It will edify us and bond us together and make us more like you. And then for tonight's offering, we ask you to help us to be generous with it, and that you'll help us and direct us to the family who would need it the most at this time. For we ask that in Jesus' name. Amen. Thank you. Be seated if you don't mind, and the offering plates will be passing, and the Wednesday night offerings are for benevolence. And for those of you who got the email this week about the widow in our church who needed some funding to do some plumbing repairs, the entire $1,300 came in within like 2 hours of the email. So I want to thank you so much for responding in that way. That was a wonderful and a great encouragement to Brenda Averett, who is the widow who had the great need. Genesis chapter 6, we're going to begin in verse 5. I want to read you a little bit, then we're going to talk and share some ideas. The story is very, very familiar, so the tendency is for the mind to sort of disengage. When you know a story so well, you can tell it yourself. But often we miss some important details or some insights that really make it come alive. And so chapter 6, let's look at verse 5. Then the Lord saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every intent of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. And the Lord was sorry that he had made man on the earth, and he was grieved in his heart. So the Lord said, I will destroy man, whom I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beast, creeping thing and birds of the air, for I am sorry that I have made them. But Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord. This is the genealogy of Noah. Noah was a just man, perfect in his generations. Noah walked with God. And Noah begot 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. The earth also was corrupt before God, and the earth was filled with violence. So God looked upon the earth, and indeed it was corrupt, for all flesh had corrupted their way on the earth. And God said to Noah, the end of all flesh has come before me, for the earth is filled with violence through them. And behold, I will destroy them with the earth. Make yourself an ark of gopher wood. Make rooms in the ark, and cover it inside and outside with pitch. And this is how you shall make it. The length of the ark shall be 300 cubits, its width 50 cubits, and its height 30 cubits. You shall make a window for the ark, and you shall finish it to a cubit from above, and set the door of the ark in its side. You shall make it with lower, second, and third decks. And behold, I myself am bringing flood waters on the earth, to destroy from under heaven all flesh, in which is the breath of life. Everything that is on the earth shall die. But I will establish my covenant with you, and you shall go into the ark, you, your sons, your wife, and your sons' wives with you. And of every living thing of all flesh you shall bring 2 of every sort into the ark, to keep them alive with you. They shall be male and female. Of the birds after their kind, of animals after their kind, and of every creeping thing of the earth after its kind, 2 of every kind will come to you to keep them alive. And you shall take for yourself of all the food that is eaten, and you shall gather it to yourself, and it shall be food for you and them. Thus Noah did, according to all that God commanded him, so he did. Then the Lord said to Noah, Come into the ark, you and all your household, because I have seen that you are righteous before me in this generation. You shall take with you 7 of each clean animal, and male and female, 2 of each animals that are unclean, a male and his female. Also 7 of each of the birds of the air, male and female, to keep the species alive on the face of all the earth. For after 7 more days I will cause it to rain on the earth 40 days and 40 nights, and I will destroy from the face of the earth all living things that I have made. And Noah did according to all that the Lord commanded him. Noah was 600 years old when the flood waters were on the earth. Now that's the introduction to what's about to happen. And it's an amazing story. And there are people who believe in the Lord Jesus Christ, who believe the gospel, who would call themselves our brothers and sisters in Christ, and I have no doubt that they are, but who would say this story is merely it's an allegory. It's not a false myth, but it's just a story to communicate a truth. And I want you to know that I don't believe it's an allegory. I believe it's an historical account, although it might use some generalized symbolic language. It is actually giving us an historical event that took place. And one of the reasons why I don't believe it's just an allegory, like I don't believe the Garden of Eden is an allegory. I believe the Garden of Eden is an actual place, an actual event took place. And the reason is those 2 events are so foundational to our theology. They are so foundational to our understanding of God. They are foundational to the very principles of salvation and God's grace and God's righteousness for those 2 stories to be true and not just parables and not just allegories. And the other thing is there's too many details. You know, when Jesus gives a parable, it's fairly generalized. It's to give you an impression of one thought. Parables and allegories usually teach one basic principle. So the details aren't as relevant. But in these stories, they're very precise. Even to the length of measurements, the length of days, we're going to see in a minute, very specific as to the actual day the flood started and the actual day the flood ended. Why would God go to that trouble to give us the exact number of days of this duration unless it's to be impressed upon us this is an actual event? So the story we're looking at, as we're so used to the picture of the little ark like this that's barely top heavy in the water with all the animals sticking their heads out and smiling, and that's the idea of the ark. But the ark was a massive vessel, as we mentioned last week, the biggest vessel ever built until the Queen Mary. For thousands of years through human history, no one had ever built a boat this big. That lends to what we talked about last week, which I'll review real quickly, as to why do we teach here that the flood was actually global and not regional. And there are many who we would say are brothers and sisters in Christ who say, yes, the story is actual, but it's only a local or regional flood. And these are some of the reasons we mentioned, that the language of the story is all inclusive of the entire globe. And here's an example. And the waters prevailed and were increased greatly upon the earth. And the waters prevailed exceedingly upon the earth. And all the high hills that were under the whole heaven were covered. And the mountains were covered. And all flesh died that moved upon the earth. All in whose nostrils was the breath of life died. And every living substance was destroyed. Noah only remained alive, and they that were with him in the ark. And then finally, the waters prevailed upon the earth 150 days. those are all in chapter 8. So there's these phrasings that include everything on the planet. And particularly that one, that the waters prevailed, which means they rose for 150 days. Imagine a flood in Sarasota. We had one when I first moved here. I moved here 23 years ago, and I forgot if it was 1 or 2 or 3 years I had been here, but we had one of those 100-year floods. And people were going in rowboats from their houses over there by where the church used to be. It was a big flood. Imagine that flood where the waters continue to rise for 150 days. 5 months. That was a one-day rain. Now, it rained all day, and it caused a massive flood. Imagine waters rising for 150 days. How could that be contained locally or even regionally? When they'll tell you if the seas rise 1 foot, it's wiping out complete coastal cities all around the world. 150 days of rising water, to me, is a good indication this is not a local or a regional flood, plus the language of all the high mountains. So with that being in mind, there's so much to be fascinated about this story. We don't need to alter the story the way the movie did last summer, in which Noah is perplexed, and rightfully so. He's in torment emotionally and spiritually over what God is going to do. God's going to wipe everybody out. But his, I'm not sure this is a word, his perplexity, is that a word? His confused state was based upon the fact God didn't give him specific information. He didn't really know what was really going to happen or what he was supposed to do. But in the Bible account, he was. But so with that being said, imagine you're Noah. And God in some way has manifested you that this is not just a vision or a dream. You know this is God talking to you, and he's telling you he's going to kill every single person and living thing on the planet through a flood. And there's never been a flood before. And you're to build a massive boat to save your family and some animals. You would have to just sit down and wonder, did I eat too much spaghetti? Did I just miss? Am I imagining this? To me, the struggle would have been the enormity of the task and the severity of the punishment. Not because God was ambiguous and sending images to him in a dream and he had to figure it out, which is the way it's portrayed in the movie. Bible stories are good enough as they're written. We don't really need to play with them much. The most amazing stories in human history are in the Bible, and one of them is this flood. So in these opening verses that we just read, and in the story up through chapter 8, here's some things about the ark that we need to keep in mind. Noah was to make it of gopher wood, which experts say is probably cypress or cedar wood, and it's to be pitched on the inside and the out with tar. Have you seen the infomercial with that guy with the spray can that can take a screen door and spray it with the black tar and you can make a boat out of it? That's the kind of substance that's being put on the inside and the out to make it worthy to float in the water. It's to be 450 feet long. Now that is a massive structure. A football field's 300 feet, so 1.5 football fields long, made entirely out of wood and then pitched with tar. It's to be 75 feet wide and 45 feet tall. Now 45 feet doesn't seem that tall until you're standing at 45 feet and you're looking down. Going up is a lot harder than going out. It's a huge rectangular structure, one that is balanced enough with its width and its breadth and its height so that it isn't top heavy and doesn't tip over. It's a big floating barge, and a massive structure, even by today's standards, would be a massive boat. It's supposed to be 3 stories high. First deck, second deck, and third deck. So we assume all 3 decks are the same height, 15 feet. And then there's a window all the way around it. That's a cubit. A cubit this is a cubit, here to here. So it's about 18 inches. So there's an 18-inch window all the way around the top that allows for air circulation, which is, I'm sure, greatly needed. If you have a whole bunch of animals in a boat and all of them aren't hibernating, you got to have some airflow. Noah and his wife and their 3 sons and their wives are to board the ark. And there's 7 of the clean animals and 2 of the unclean animals. And in the 7, it's to be 3 pairings of male and female and then an extra. And we assume the extra is for both sacrifice and eating for the year. There are less than 18,000 species today. Now, this is an important thing because one of the complaints skeptics give is there's no way you can get all the animals of the world on an ark. But mathematically and spatially, it's more than feasible. 18,000 species that exist today, and the average size of an animal on earth is about the size of a sheep. And if God is bringing to Noah infant animals so they live longer, it's going to be even smaller. But let's say they're all normal size. The experts say all those animals could fit in 150 boxcars. The volume of the ark, by the measurements that God gave, 450 feet long, 75 feet wide, 45 feet high, is 522 railroad boxcars. So in 150 boxcars, double the number of animals than what is required could easily be housed. So this is not a mathematical impossibility. It's just massive. It's just hard to comprehend. But it's certainly not, it's not bad figures, and it's not fantasaical. The fantasaical part is how all the animals got there. Just trying to herd 2 cats alone would wear you out. So God brings the animals in. That's the amazing part of it. And it was to be stocked with food. And then it's going to rain 40 days and 40 nights. And that's where modern pop theology loses the point. It only rains for 40 days and 40 nights. But the waters continue to rise for 150. Evidently, the canopy around the earth collapses in the 40 days and 40 nights. All that water from top. But what happens underneath is where the greatest amount of the water comes, when the fountains of the deep open up. We heard that Noah was 600 years old when the fountains of the deep broke up and the windows of heaven were opened, and it was the 17th day of the 2nd month. Now, if you're telling an allegory or a myth or a parable, you don't say the 17th day of the 2nd month. That automatically gives you a go back and check it kind of fact. That this is a historical fact. The Lord shuts Noah in. The Lord seals the family in. They get in the ark, and then God pulls that door closed, and he seals them shut. And then the waters, the Bible tells us, rose some 20 feet higher than the highest mountain peaks. Now, someone has said, well, that's because the world was flatter at that time because the mountain peaks didn't exist yet. But they, if we understand what happened, right, they arose during the flood cataclysm. So they were that high. Mount Everest was up there. It opened up. These mountains came out of the ground. The crust of the earth cracked open. The underground waters came pouring out and covered even the highest of the mountains that were caused by the crust crashing together, which more than likely changed the globe forever. So even when the waters receded, the land masses weren't the same shape as they were prior to the flood. You've heard the word Pangea, which is the name that people have given to the land mass that geologists tell us seems to be what existed at some time in world history. There was just one huge, large landmass. And you can see how the continents, when they pull them apart, how you can sort of almost fit them together. And so they fit them together, and they call it Pangea, and they fill in the little gaps that are there. Well, if that was true, if that was the occupied world, and it split apart, it changed the dimensions and everything of this planet, which is, just beyond our mind how we could even grasp that. The waters began to recede and continued doing so for another half year. So the ark rested on the 17th day of the 7th month, which is 150 days, on the mountains of Ararat. So at day 150, the ark comes to a stop, and it lands on one of the mountains of Ararat. But the flood's not over. It takes many, many more days for the waters to subside far enough where anybody can live on the planet. The waters receded until the first day of the 10th month, so that's almost 3 more months. That means it's day 225. So the ark's sitting there that's 75 more days, just sitting there as the waters slowly recede, another 75 days in that stinky building. Then Noah opened the window to take the top off 40 days later, and he sent out a raven and a dove at day 265. Again, these numbers are important because it just shows you this is an actual account. It's not just a story, a children's story. Noah waited 7 days and sent out a dove that returned with an olive branch on day 272. Noah waited another 7 days and sent out the dove again, and it didn't return, and that was day 279. So we're talking almost a year at this point. He waits a few more days. On the first day of the first month, or day 318, the waters dried up. So on the 27th day of the second month, day 371. So this is a flood more than a year long. On the bioethics committee that I serve on at the hospital and the Florida Bioethics Network, one of our fascinating discussions is what happened at Katrina. It's one of those perfect storms of mishaps, miscalculations, and lack of response that caused the tragedy. And as that hurricane hit and caused the waters to rise in New Orleans and caused that flood, the devastation was just unimaginable. But it was very localized, and the waters didn't sit there for a year. The damage stayed there for a long time, but the waters came and the waters went. This was a flood that lasted for over a year before the land could in any way be trodden on again. So after the waters receded, there's probably still that spongy effect. That's why it took so long for after the ground was dried until they got off the boat, was the land had to solidify again because it had been so saturated with water. So God told Noah to leave the ark and repopulate the ark and the earth, so they did it. But before we get to that, what happens next? Look at Psalm chapter 104. It answers an interesting question. And although we can explain through hydroelectrics and geology and earth structure and earth crust how the flood took place, we don't want to excuse it as being a natural phenomena. It was a supernaturally induced natural phenomena. Well, the same thing is true of the ending. The flood waters receded because God made it happen. In Psalm chapter 104, verses 6 through 9. You covered it, speaking of the earth, you covered it with the deep as with a garment. The waters stood above the mountains. At your rebuke they fled. At the voice of your thunder they hastened away. They went up over the mountains. They went down into the valleys to the place which you founded for them. You have set a boundary that they may not pass over, that they may not return to cover the earth. Now, this is one of those amazing biblical facts that we didn't know in terms of science and our knowledge until recent times, that there is a massive amount of water under the crust of the earth. So this water covered the earth, and what would have made it recede? Well, the Bible says God did. God said, go back, just like he called them forth. He called them out from the inside of the earth, and he made them go back. And as they rapidly cascaded off those mountains, they carved enormous valleys and canyons and lake beds and river beds as they raced back to the place where the Bible says God holds them at bay at this time. So Noah receives instructions in Genesis chapter 9, verse 1. So God blessed Noah and his sons and said to them, be fruitful and multiply and fill the earth. And the fear of you and the dread of you shall be on every beast of the earth, on every bird of the air, on all that moves on the earth, and on all the fish of the sea. They are given into your hand. Every moving thing that lives shall be food for you. I have given you all things, even as the green herbs. But you shall not eat flesh with its life, that is, with its blood. So after Noah gets out of the ark and he offers a sacrifice in verse 20 through 21, God is pleased with the sacrifice, and he tells Noah, everything now has changed. There is a new hierarchy. You are on top, and I will give animals this inherent natural sense of fear of man, and they shall be in dread of you, and you shall be able to eat them. So that's the initiation of us eating meat by God's decree. It didn't mean that we didn't eat meat before, but now he's opened it up to all living creatures can be consumed by man. that would change the nature of a relationship with animals. The animals on the ark evidently got along with Noah and his family without any problem. If they weren't hibernating, if God didn't put them into some kind of special sleep, the Bible doesn't tell us what happened for that year inside the ark, but there were no revolts. Nobody was attacked by a tiger or a lion or a grizzly. Nothing happened. That might be a reflection of the way animals and man got along prior to the flood, or it may be a supernatural restraining act of God. But after the flood, that's released. And there's this animosity and tension and a hierarchy of authority of man over animal that's instituted almost immediately. God tells Noah that both plant and animals are his to steward and to eat, but he is prevented from eating blood. And then there's this beautiful analogy, symbol coming up in verse 8, and it's of the rainbow. Then God spoke to Noah and to his sons with him, saying, As for me, behold, I establish my covenant with you and with your descendants after you, and with every living creature that is with you, the birds, the cattle, and every beast of the earth with you, that all go out of the ark, every beast of the earth. Thus I establish my covenant with you. Never again shall all flesh be cut off by the waters of the flood. Never again shall there be a flood to destroy the earth. And this is the sign of the covenant which I make between me and you and every living creature that is with you. For perpetual generations I set my rainbow in the cloud, and it shall be for the sign of the covenant between me and the earth. It shall be when I bring a cloud over the earth that the rainbow shall be in the cloud, and I will remember my covenant, which is between me and you and every living creature of all flesh. Which is interesting. God makes a covenant with animals. He's including the dogs and the cats and the donkeys and the snakes and the birds and the tigers and the lions and the bears, in his covenant. Yeah, why would he even condescend to make a covenant with animals? They're his creation too. And the promise is all of it is going to be redeemed someday. All of creation is redeemed by the cross and when the process is done. The rainbow shall be in the cloud, and I will look on it to remember the everlasting covenant between God and every living creature of all the flesh that is on the earth. And God said to Noah, This is the sign of the covenant which I have established between me and all flesh that is on the earth. Now imagine this moment. You and I, well, most of us, I would say, are fascinated by rainbows. When you see a really brilliant one that's complete and it even has that purple strain in it, you stop your car and you look at it and you take a picture and you send it to people. And I don't know how many of you have seen that wonderful YouTube video of the guy out in Colorado who sees the double rainbow. And the assumption is that he's high because he just loses control over this double rainbow. And he's recording it. But he's just thrilled and he's going, oh, a double rainbow, it's so beautiful. And his voice gets real high and he starts to cry and he's looking at this, and the double rainbow is amazing. But the assumption was that he had to be high on marijuana to get that excited about the rainbow. But the rainbow was pretty amazing. Well, I saw an interview with the guy just a couple of months ago on TV, and he says, no, I don't do any drugs. He goes, it just overwhelmed me when I saw this double rainbow. Sometimes just type it into Google, type double rainbow, and you'll get a kick at it, the way this guy responds to it. But imagine you've never seen one before. You've come through a year, first of all, for the first 150 days, going like this in an ark, then it's stopping, then another 120-something days or more, 150 days, just sitting in the ark, surrounded by animals, the stench of animals, eating the same thing over and over again. You get out, you breathe the fresh air, you see Dad sacrifice an offering to God to thank him, and you know this is a world-changing event, and we're all that is. And then God puts this display on in the sky of a rainbow, and you've never seen one before. And I think the reason is the sky was never filled with that type of mist that covered the whole globe prior to the canopy being there and everything being like a hothouse. It changed the dynamics of our atmosphere, where now there is that image of a rainbow when light goes through the little water particles. But you see it for the first time. It's got to be visually overwhelming, emotionally overwhelming, but spiritually, God has made a covenant with you. How amazing it had to be. So now the sons of Noah who went out of the ark were Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And Ham was the father of Canaan. These three were the sons of Noah, and from these the whole earth was populated. And Noah began to be a farmer, and he planted a vineyard. Now that phrase, Noah began to be a farmer, is sort of a haunting phrase. It's like Nimrod began to be a mighty hunter. The Nephilim and the giants began to rule on the earth. This phrase, it's an ominous statement. Noah drifts, not that farming is bad, but he plants a vineyard. And this is the first indication of wine in the Bible. But it's not the first experience with drinking. Because Jesus says, in the days of Noah, they were what? They were drinking and giving in marriage. So Noah knew what alcohol does. This wasn't like Noah planted this grape and said, oh, wow, look at this. I'm going to drink as much of it as I can. And oops, I got drunk. Noah knew what it would do, but he consumed it evidently, whether it was in self-pity or frustration. Who knows what your mind would be if you know all of humanity just got wiped out and all you have is your family, but your kids have had kids by now because his grandchildren are alive when this happens. This is a number of years down the line. He plants the vineyard and he gets drunk. Then he drank the wine and was drunk, and he became uncovered in his tent. And we lose some of this in English, but the inference in Hebrew is that he uncovered himself. He was so drunk, not knowing what he was doing, he took off his clothes and fell down naked inside his tent. And Ham, the father of Canaan, saw the nakedness of his father and told his two brothers outside. And we miss what's the big deal there. We don't quite understand that, but there is more to it, and I'll get to that in a second. But Shem and Japheth took a garment and laid it both on their shoulders and went backward and covered the nakedness of their father. Their faces were turned away, and they did not see their father's nakedness. So Noah awoke from his wine and knew what his younger son had done to him. Now, this is all speculation. We don't know what the real offense of this was. But looking backward through history and the people of Ham and the people of Canaan and the kind of people they became, and Noah's huge offense at this, and the grammar of the Hebrew is that they didn't take a garment, they took Noah's garment. Now, how did they get Noah's garment? They weren't inside the tent. It'd be because Ham took it with him, and he showed it to his brothers. So they took Noah's coat, and they put it on their shoulder, and they walked backwards so they would cover him up. But evidently when Ham found his father naked, other things took place that the Bible doesn't tell us. But that phrase, saw his nakedness, is the same phrase used throughout Leviticus describing the sexual perversion of the Canaanites, which you can look up archaeological books, and the Canaanites were, they were over the top. You can put Madonna and Miley Cyrus and everybody you can think of into a bowl, and they're mild kindergartners compared to the Canaanites. These people were some of the most sexually perverse people in all human history, violently so. Well, they were Ham's descendants through Canaan. So the reference is that not a reflection of maybe what Ham's own nature was, that it began there, that something sexual took place? We don't know. All we know is whatever Ham did to his father was not only inappropriate, it was ungodly and offensive and worthy of God's judgment. Because then Noah then curses him. Cursed be Canaan, a servant of servants he shall be to his brethren. And notice he curses Canaan, not Ham. Ham is the one who did it, supposedly, but Canaan is the one who's cursed. Canaan is Ham's youngest son. And he said, blessed be the Lord, the God of Shem, and may Canaan be his servant. May God enlarge Japheth, and may he dwell in the tents of Shem, and may Canaan be his servant. And Noah lived after the flood 350 years. So all the days of Noah were 950 years, and he died. And this is the setting for what happens to the human race after the flood. And these three progenitors, Ham, Shem, and Japheth, where they go, what they contribute. And it's a fascinating historical study as to what these different, you don't want to call them races, but categories of lineage, what they brought to the world. And it's quite astounding. And evidently, some 95% of all the technological inventions in human history can be traced to Ham. They're the ones who had the great inventive minds. And Shem was religious and Japheth philosophical. And it's a fascinating study that we can't get into tonight. But God allowed those three lineages to create what then coalesced in Nimrod at the Tower of Babel, which is our lesson for next week. But before we get to that, and before we close, I want to give you quickly a summary of some things we can draw from the Great Flood that apply to us. Now, that doesn't mean the story is given just so that we can learn something about us, but because it's an historical event, one that God acted like he's never acted before in a punitive way to the entire globe. And we mentioned last week that I believe it's very likely that was because of the corrupting of the human DNA through angels sleeping with women. I'm not saying that is exactly, but it certainly would hold to the story as to why God destroyed the world, because he didn't destroy the sin. The sin was still there. It was there right after the flood when Noah gets drunk and something happens with his son. And it's flagrantly there across the globe by the time Nimrod is around. So he didn't wipe the sin out. What did he wipe out? I think he wiped out that corrupted DNA. That's why only those survivors, all the people on the planet today are descendants of Noah, not Adam. Adam, yes, through Noah, but all the other lines of Adam got destroyed only through Noah. So right after this, the sin returns. So here's some observations. Instead of inhibiting man's depravity, technology and knowledge provides man with a greater vehicle to express that depravity. It just gives us more ways to do bad more often and with greater impact, which human history seems to bear out. Greater knowledge does not guarantee greater wisdom. And the Bible tells us the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, and the knowledge of the holy is understanding. Every time I read the works, and I can't even read them because they're so far above my head, but I read about the works of brilliant men like Stephen Hawking and Albert Einstein, it saddens me that such brilliant men have discounted God. Well, if wisdom is in alignment with real truth, it has to be aligned with God in some way. So knowledge is not a guarantee of wisdom at all. A non-intellectual person, a non-academic person can be blessed with great wisdom if their devotion is to God. Just because something has never happened does not mean it cannot happen. And the Bible is full of stories of things that never happened before, but when God said they're going to happen, they happen, and keep that in mind about God's prophecies of the end times. It's never happened before. That doesn't mean it can't happen. God's will and God's word will come to pass, even if God declares something completely outrageous that you can't even comprehend, such as the bodily return of Jesus Christ, or the rapture of the saints, or the rise of the Antichrist, or a one-world government. Even if it just doesn't make any sense, the revival of Israel from a dead nation for 2,000 years to a world power, whatever God says, it's going to happen, even if you can't figure out how. We don't have to figure out how. Other thing is, God notices godly living. Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord, and God said he was upright, perfect in his generations, and he walked with God. The world evidently didn't like him very much, but God did. In reality, does it really matter what anybody else thinks if God says you're doing right? We also see that God is merciful, because Noah still had the seed of sin in him, and it's displayed some years after the flood. Noah is a flawed person who still needs the grace of God. Noah didn't survive the flood because he was righteous and holy and just. Noah survived the flood because he found grace in the eyes of the Lord. After the flood, for Noah to recover from this egregious event with his sons and grandson, he had to have the grace of God. We all still need the grace of God. God is all powerful. He can call the waters up. He can tell the waters to go back. God is sovereign. Sovereign has two implications: authority over all things and control over all things. God has the authority to control what he wants and to designate control to where he wants. He's completely sovereign. God communicates with man. God also knows what will happen today, what will happen tomorrow, and what will happen 1,000 years from now. And we've talked before about the attributes of God, that he transcends time and space. He's outside of it. So he's in the ever-present. So past, present, and future is all the same to him because he's outside of it. God knows everything. And then one last thing. Jesus said that in the last days, it will be like Noah's day. And there's many things we can draw from Noah's day. Great times of spiritual deception. Great times of departure from the faith. Everybody living their life as if nothing's going to come, even with the warning being given. Remember, God shut Noah in the ark for 7 days. What happened for those 7 days? There was no sprinkling, there was no rain, no earthquakes. So the people around the ark, what did they do? Well, in the movie, they storm the ark and they try to take it over and get on it because they come to believe it's going to happen. But the Bible doesn't say what happened. But God waited 7 days for a reason. What was the reason? Was it the open door that if they want to come, they could? What if somebody would have come to the ark and knocked on it? Said, I believe in God. I want God's grace. Would they have been let in? There's a 7-day delay for something. We don't really know what, but I can imagine it was the grace of God. But the grace of God doesn't remove the depravity of man. I think the implication is that the people of the world just kept doing what they were doing for 7 days, laughing about this maniac who built this ridiculous boat, and now his whole family are in it, and we're in a dry plain. Where's the water going to come from? How's this guy ever going to get this boat going? It had to be just ridicule to the nth degree. When the Bible tells us at the end times, the world's going to say, where's the promise of his coming? Ever since creation, things are as they always have been. And God says that he's not slack concerning his promise, as some men count slackness, but is long-suffering, not willing that any should perish. So the story of the flood is not just a symbol. It's an actual historical event in which God was painting a picture of his distaste and disdain for sin, but his love for man and his grace that he sovereignly chooses who receives it. And he saves and redeems and restores, but you have to be in the boat. And that's that old song the Southern Gospel Quartet used to sing, the good old gospel ship, being Jesus. He is the way, the truth, and the life, and without him, no man can see God. So the story of the ark is a story of the great ark provided to us in the Lord Jesus Christ. All right, let's bow together in prayer. Our Heavenly Father, we do thank you for the Word of God and how miraculously it has been preserved for us these thousands of years. And we have it today to hold into our hands, even though it's been printed in the last few years for us to hold. It's a relic, an ancient relic of wisdom and truth and stories that have spread throughout the world for millennia. Stories that have been corrupted and altered based upon the bent and the twist of a given culture, but that you've preserved for us in your word. Father, help us to treasure it. Help us to internalize it. Help us to apply it. And may we honor and glorify you. And may you help us to walk like Noah. We thank you that we have found grace in your sight. And the great flood of judgment that's coming, we will be saved. We will be rescued. And the day is coming when you will restore all of the creation. Our relationship with animals, our relationship with nature, the removal and corruption and death of sin, permanently removed forever. And we look forward to that day when you restore all things and your Son will make all things new. And Lord, we ask that in Jesus' name. Amen. Oh, by the way, this Sunday is the Rob Shank will be here. It's also the Kid Connection Christmas party. It's a Christmas party in February, so it's a Valentine's party. Because the Christmas party got canceled, so they're having it in February, but it's falling on the Valentine's weekend. So it's a Valentine's pizza party, Christmas and February party. And they're supposed to bring a small gift to exchange. And they're going to start their party about 11:30. And they'll be done at 12:45. So if you have children or grandchildren, feel free to bring them to church. They can stay for the party afterwards. A little inexpensive gift is all they need to be able to exchange. And I hope you'll come and plan to bring somebody with you this Sunday. You'll be glad you brought a guest with you this Sunday. And when you get home, think about Sunday night joining us for the live stream. We're doing question number 7. It's what does the law require? Is question number 7. So I hope you'll join us for there. And up here in the front, Bobby, my sweet daughter-in-law, answered a prayer and one of the lights in my life. This is her last Wednesday night with us, and David and Bobby are going to let you know on Sunday, but they're moving Monday to Los Angeles, and David's going to pursue acting and see what God can do through him there. So it's going to be a sad time for me and Coley, but we're also excited. They are excited, but they're saddened as well. But we're just praying that the love will flow across the nation and hold us together as a family. But I know that you would want to know that, and you want to pray for them both. Bobby has been here since what grade, Bobby? 9th grade. She started coming here, and of course David moved here when he was 4 years old. And he's been here most of his life, and y'all know him very well. Well, you may not know him that well. You know of him. He's quiet. But he loves you, and I know that you love him. But they'll say their goodbye on Sunday. But keep them in prayer if you would, and for our family as we get ready to make this adjustment for our lives. Yes, ma'am. Oh, praise the Lord. Well, we'll get to hear about it next week because Dan Peters is our guest. Next Wednesday night, one of our missionaries went through just a horrendous trial of opposition and all sorts of things. But he'll be with us next week and for Wednesday night study. So I hope you'll make your effort to come here and be here just to show support for our missionaries, sweet family. And that's great news. That's good. They'll be here next Wednesday night. God bless you. Have a wonderful night, and we'll see you Sunday.